Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Force here, and I've got another StarCraft 2 series for you today. This is going to be a best of 5 here between Tarson and Nerchio. We can see right here, we are an IC Cup test bug spawning in the right position. Here is Nerchio, and in the very bottom position, we've got Tarson as our blue Terran player. So yes, Terran versus Zerg. This will be a best of 5 between these two players. Starting things off here with game number 1. I'll let you know right from the get-go. Not going to be any post-game recaps today. Just going to try to bang through these next 5 games, get these done for you guys. I've got some stuff going on, so I'll be taking care of that. But yes, should be an interesting series. Both Tarson and Nerchio, very solid players, so looking forward to how this one plays out. Test bug, awesome map. Looks very, very cool. You can see there's the 3 distinct corners here. You've got the little space area here in the bottom left. In the upper left, it's like the little island. It gets surrounded by water and all that nice green shrubbery. And then on over here, what is this? I don't know what we'll refer. Maybe this is the swamp. I guess we call this the swamp over here. Let me know if you think it's something different, but I think that's what it is. We got space, swamp, and island. Awesome. So irrelevant to the game. Tarson starting things off with that 10 depot, then we'll be following up right with that 12 racks. So far looking standard. Let's keep an eye for that refinery of 13. Back over here for Nerchio. We do, of course, want to see if he decides to open up one base play or moves into that quick expansion or not. So let's see if he's going to be coming down with that pool. Looks like here we go. It's going to be a fast expansion, so we'll be going straight into 14 hatch right over here. Then moving out with this drone scout. Now, you might ask, whether or not that would have been changed really was determined as to whether or not Tarson had scouted him out. I feel like it's safe to say that if Tarson were inside of his base, he may very well have opened up with one base play. Or he might have just tried to go out with that 15 hatch anyways, but dealing with, the SCV harass and all sorts of stuff like this usually forces Zerg players to go ahead and drop down that pool first if they get scouted right off the bat. Nerchio dropping that pool after, and we do, of course, want to see if he gets that extractor anytime soon. We do have Tarson over here with that refinery up, and looks like he will be opening up straight with that tech lab. That is going to allow him to open up with some Reaper harass, so probably going to be seeing a Reaper quick expand here from Tarson. That seems like the most probable thing to be taking place. There we go, finally coming out with that extractor right now at 18 supply. That spawning pool about 50% of the way finished right now. Metabolic boost will be a little bit delayed given his extractor timing, but not the biggest of deals. And look at this, Tarson trying to be a little bit of a nuisance here, coming out with this bunker, knowing the fact, there we go, knowing the fact that the Reaper's coming on through, and Nerchio asking if he's pulling off a goody Reaper. Hilarious indeed. Tarson here actually might be able to pull this off, though. Interestingly enough, the SCV had pathed himself away from those workers here. So we do have these 3 drones working on that bunker. The Reaper is making its way across the map. Where is it, though? I'm not sure. Oh, the Reaper, did he get stuck? I'm not sure, but the Reaper was very, very delayed, and that didn't quite work out in Tarson's favor at all. He's going to actually be forced to cancel this now, losing that SCV. Canceling the bunker, hopefully. There we go, so canceling off that bunker. So yes, the Reaper was just stuck out front for a little while, and I'm not sure why. I think he was just misrallied. Uh-oh, the Reaper getting caught there by the Zerglings at the corner of the base. Some Zerglings on the low ground as well, trying to get a couple more shots off there. Now the Reaper is at half health, and he's going to be forced to try to retreat. This is not good at all for Tarson. Didn't manage to do a little bit of micro, getting that 1 Zergling kill, but still didn't manage to do much damage at all with this, and that's just a very unfortunate situation indeed. Back over here for Tarson, we can see, yes, that expansion following things up here. It does also have that factory coming out right on that tech lab, so let's keep an eye out to see what he will be transitioning into from here. Second refinery coming on through, also coming out with that other depot. Make sure he's not getting blocked. I want to see if he's going straight into tanks or if he's actually going to be trying to go for like Infernal Prenutter, and I think he might be. Looks like we may be seeing some Infernal Prenutter Hellions here from Tarson as a follow-up. Now keep in mind, his initial harass really didn't do too much. He's actually behind at this point in the game, given the fact that he had to destroy that bunker while it's being built, simply because, again, that Reaper wasn't rallied to the proper position. There we go, Reaper against these regular Zerglings, able to get a free kill there. So now up to 2 kills, trying to even the numbers here. It's going to take a few more, though, and actually the Reaper will be heading on back, assuming that the metabolic boost will be done soon. Although, as we can see, Nerchio got a pretty late start for that, and as such, that metabolic boost won't be out when Tarson is expecting it. Overlord scouting out the expansion. This will allow him to see if and when that gets dropped. We do have these Zerglings moving on up, and they're actually going to be scouting this the tech lab on the factory. Though they don't know yet if that is simply for siege tanks or if there are in fact infernal pre-nerd Hellions. Although we do have this little Roachwarren block off here with that spine crawler right in the middle. This is going to make any Hellion harass from the front much more difficult. At the same time, though, we do have a starport, so I wonder if he will be trying to do some drop harass with this. How many Hellions do we have in play right now? Looks like just the 3, although 3 certainly significant in terms of the amount of damage they can deal, especially with that blue flame there, that infernal pre-igniter. Moving across the map right now, we'll be grabbing that Zelnaga tower. Got a couple of Marines heading up back as well. And looks like we will be seeing a pretty strong push here, though it's not going to be doing much at all. Very nice wall here from Nerchio. He's got that evolution chamber down as well, and with so many queens, really nothing these Hellions and Marines are going to be able to do to push against that. They can try to move forward and do a little bit of damage, but that spine crawler plus these queens blocking those Hellions from moving into the resource line going to be a huge problem. He may just want to wait until that medevac comes out. This will allow him to pick up and drop right in the main, and then at that point he could really do a ton of damage. Nerchio right now just sitting in his base, coming out with a few roaches as some sort of preparation for what he's up against right now. Is sitting on a bit of larva, deciding to drone up with that. Although here we go, medevac coming into play, and a little bit of micro from Nerchio pulling back that injured roach. The Hellions almost getting surrounded by those Zerglings, but with that infernal pre-igniter absolutely tearing through it. And oh no, these Marines and Hellions just roasting through that roach count again with the with that medevac there, healing up those Marines and those Hellions, taking care of those Zerglings. Very nice push there from Tarson. Back over here inside of Tarson's main base, we can see that transition coming out into Marine tank. He's got the tanks going on through, lifting up those Hellions, dropping into the main. And let's see how much damage he's able to do here. This could be really scary for Nerchio. He has got 8 roaches coming out, but if we can see Tarson move right in the resource line and try to get a few target fires off on that count. There we go, getting a few drones right there. A few more drones to those infernal pre-igniter Hellions and a few more, but some nice following up there with those roaches, and the Queen's almost killing that medevac, just barely escaping with his life. We'll be dropping here in the natural. Nerchio saying raffle, given the fact that that medevac made it just barely, although Tarson didn't get too many extra kills from that secondary drop there. Some nice maneuvering with those drones and bring back those roaches, prevented Nerchio from taking too heavy of a loss. We have a couple more medevacs moving across the map, although they don't really have a lot to pick up over here. A couple Marines heading back home. We also have that tank over there. So again, here comes that transition from Tarson into Marine tank. He's got the medevacs also coming out with that one Viking. We'll be using that to try to snipe some overlords that are scattered throughout the map. We do have a roach counterattack coming out from Nerchio. Nerchio actually deciding to first go to the middle. There's that injured medevac, and he will be pulling on across and actually scouting out Nerchio's third right now. So at this moment, Tarson realizes, hey, Nerchio has expanded in the third. This would be a good opportunity to drop some stim Marines. Marines do not have stim yet. That actually just started, so those Marines won't be doing that much damage in all honesty without stim pack. And the stim pack research takes so long to finish that by the time these guys get over there, that won't even be about 50% of the way finished. We will see, though, he might be able to get this free overlord kill over here and still try to do just even a little bit of damage. Even without stim pack, the Marines can still do a little bit of damage to the expo and try to kill off a few workers. Roach is heading back right now, and I'm looking to see, is he going to be expanding the high yield? Yes, he is. So Nerchio looking to expand to this high yield. We'll be target firing that down with these roaches and then dropping his hatchery over here. And here we go with that Marine drop. Let's see how effective that is. At the same time, we get a Marine drop moving up into the main. So Marines dropping down, killing off one worker. Then the rest do pull off. Actually get a second worker, trying to do a little bit more damage with some micro, but being forced to push back without any anti-air. Nerchio can't do anything about that medevac. Dropping in the main as well. This one won't be nearly as effective. Forced to lift off right away because of that roach and those few Zerglings. The Marines ended up doing pretty much no damage. So the medevac's still sitting back here and actually finally grabbing that. We'll be moving across. We do have the Viking with 2 kills now, grabbing the Overlord that was over here, and I believe we got the Overlord right over here as well. Now, he does have one more opportunity to grab this Overlord. Really can't neander right into Nerchio's base. That won't be effective, but still, getting 2 kills, definitely nice. Making just one Viking a pretty popular tactic as a Terran player against a Zerg opponent. Just that one, and again, moving it around the map to try to catch any stray Overlords. You can see moving right by the Expo, and then we'll be looking back here for Overlords, although as we can see, there aren't any to be had. Now the Marines will be getting stim pack for the next drops that do take place, so we will want to keep an eye on those medevacs, because with that stim pack, so much more effective. And here we do have Nerchio moving on in that expansion. Now, what do we have for Nerchio in terms of his teching up? We do have that the Infestation Pit. Ooh, we got got that other Overlord there, so now sitting on those 3 kills. Infestation Pit coming out with those pathogen glands. We do have a few infestors coming out, also level 2 melee upgrades. Couple of drops going on over here at the same time. Stim Marines moving on down. Those will get overwhelmed very quickly, but let's see how effective this drop over here is. Viking, again, sitting with 3 kills. He managed to lift up some of those Marines, so should be able to drop him in an additional spot. But here we go. Stim Marines and Mirage moving in the back of Nerchio's base. He's taking out 1 Spine Crawler. Managed to drop that Queen as well. The Zerglings moving up to try to get us around, and there you go. Going to be forced to micro back right now. Lifting up a few of those units. Lost a bunch of them, but still dropping here in the natural expansion as well. And let's see how much these Stim Marines can do. Will it take out another Queen? Yes, he will. So there's another Queen down. Very nice harass here so far from Tarson. Now, this is a little concern, though, because now that infestors are in play, this might be a little more difficult to pull off. Again, if he just keeps an infestor at each base and drops a fungal growth, those Marines get absolutely demolished. New fungal! Plus the Queens on that Viking taking it out. Again, those infestors are quite a headache for a Marine tank build, and again, we can see that is what Tarson is doing. Tarson still on 2 bases, although he is getting ready to move up into his 3rd in just 1 moment. Setting up shop here. Oh, we do have a push coming out right now. Lots of infestors as well. Zerglings, a few roaches in the mix as well, and they're actually just going to be bypassing that siege line. Tarson will be forced to move here, and here comes that push. There's a lot of infestors in here as well as those speedlings, and let's take a look for some fungal. Big fungal going down on the bio ball. Needs to stay away from that tank line. That fungal doing so much damage. Not enough energy for any more fungal growth. Dropping a few infested Terrans here, though. We do have 1 medevac sitting over there. This is a problem, though. Those roaches plus those infested Terrans doing a bit of damage. The infestors do want to... Oh, there's no burrow research, so they can't burrow. So these infestors are goners, unfortunately. But it looks like Nerchio did do a bit of damage here. You can take a look. They are about even right now. Keep in mind, though, Tarson has been on the offensive the entire game, so Nerchio helped bring himself back into the game with that drop that we just saw take place. A couple Spine Crawlers at these expansions to deal with any additional drop harass. We do have a few roaches sitting over here as well, and 1 Spine Crawler over here for Nerchio. Nerchio coming out with a ton more units. He's got a lot of speedlings, a few more infestors coming through as well. A couple of roaches in the mix. Catching those tanks out of siege. This could be a problem right now for Tarson. Tarson needs to get those in siege. There we go. And those roaches will be trying to target fire down those tanks. Forcing splash damage on the tanks as well. And Tarson just lost almost all of his army, and a big fungal growth going down on the bio, doing quite a bit of damage, not killing off too many of those Marines, though, with those combat shields plus the medevacs healing them up. That fungal growth wasn't as devastating as it could have otherwise been. So been a pretty tense game so far. Nice and back and forth between these 2 players. We have the Zergling over here from Nerchio scouting out. He's fully aware of the fact that Tarson is getting ready to move up into this expansion. So here we go, Tarson lifting it off. It looks like he'll be saving that for a planetary fortress. And another fungal growth going down on Tarson's units, just doing massive amounts of damage. That tank even taking quite a bit of damage there. The medevac still was just hanging out over there. That's awfully hilarious in all honesty. We will be having these overlords heading on back to the main base. We got a couple speedlings chilling out over there as well. What do we have in terms of infestor count? Sitting on 6 right now, also 15 roaches and 31 zerglings. We do have a very strong siege line here from Tarson. Actually, it is only 4. He did lose a bunch of his tanks to that last engagement. And let's see what Nerchio does. Nerchio will be choosing to engage it head on, losing 1 infestor already. Moving forward, though, going to give you target firing down those infestors. The roaches target fire down the tanks in response. So a fungal growth going down on these medevacs, and the roaches mopping up a lot of this bio here. Tarson doing what he can to micro away. Try to get some of that concussive shell action and buying himself some extra time to heal up. Getting a little overwhelmed, though. Tarson setting up another tank over here that I don't think he's got enough support for it. So the Zerglings will get this around, and most of the forces here of Tarson in the middle of the map have been mopped up. Nerchio rallying up some more forces, working his way into a hive tech right now, moving right up into the tank line, all willy-nilly, taking it out very quickly, dropping a few infested Terrans on top of that tank as well, and see you later. We got a couple more Marines as well as that Marauder moving in for support. Vikings sitting on the ground. Lots of speedlings coming in. They will be mopping up all those SCVs at this expansion, and Tarson not turning that into a planetary fortress, had no way of defending, and there's the GG. Alright, so as mentioned prior, not going to be doing post-game recap today, so get ready for game number 2. We'll be coming out in just one moment. As always, guys, if you like the content, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, keep watching and keep owning.